Hello everyone, the Nerdy Steve here, and today I will be featuring Julian Wellman Standard Izzet Tempo deck that is currently being used in the World Championship. The list is in the description below. I'm going to talk a little bit about the plan of the deck, and then we'll play a couple of games. So, let's go. First, this is a really cool deck. A lot of the World Championship has a lot of Esper decks, and this is one of the non-Esper decks in the tournament, so that's fun. But I've also played, a bunch of blue tempo decks on this channel, and I think maybe even a blue-red one, but this is a very different deck. And so it kind of has a lot of what you would expect in a Izzet tempo deck. We have a lot of very cheap interaction and counter spells and removal with Strangle and Abrade, and consider to find what we want to get. And then it has Fable of the Mirror Breaker on turn 3, which can loot and so find you a lot of what you want, but also provides 2 threats that you don't mind getting removed if worse comes to worse. And then we have the expected Haughty Djinn, which is kind of the reason to play this deck, which is a X4 that gets more powerful as you have more instants and sorceries in your graveyard. In this deck, all the 1 and 2 drops are instant and sorceries. A lot of them replace themselves, so this card is going to be a very huge lethal threat very early. And then one of the other cool cards here, Lier was obviously a very powerful card in the previous standard, and hasn't really seen that much play yet. But here, again, we can cast Lier and then have so much of our removal and cantrips available. But the card that's really cool here is Invoke the Winds. So this is a 5 mana sorcery that you can gain control of target artifact or creature, and then you untap it. And I think it's just very cool. I assume it's mostly to gain control of its Sheoldred. And this is a card I haven't seen a lot, but I'm very excited to play with it because I think it might be very relevant. And I think it's going to be really cool. And that's really one of the reasons why I was really drawn to this deck was because of the Invoke the Winds. And then we have what you would expect in the sideboard, which is just a lot of other stuff. One card that I really like is Tolarian Terror, because a lot of the blue tempo decks I've been playing on this channel have main deck Tolarian Terror and Haughty Djinn, and I think Julian decided it's better off in the sideboard than to bring it in when you need another big, beefier creature. And so I think that's a really cool choice. But other than that, I'm very excited to see what this deck does. So let's go. We have to mulligan this. We didn't have really any interaction or anything that we could cast. It just wasn't great, and we needed our lands to work out. So hopefully with Consider, we can find some relevant things. Or if your opponent just is stuck on 2 lands, then that's also great, right? Or 1 land. Okay. I really don't know what our opponent did, so I'm not going to mulligan or sideboard. We only saw 1 Jund land, so it could really be anything. So we can keep this. One of the unfortunate parts about this hand is we can't do Impulse on turn 2, but now we have Otawara into Shivan Reef into Stormcarved Coast, so that's really good. And our opponent looks like might be on Domain. I don't think we need that island, so I'm glad I did that. Now, our opponent could be on a lot of different things, so... Or, not... we think our opponent is on domain, right? But we don't know what our opponent could have in hand, and that could be a lot of different things. I think I like the Cemetery Illuminator here. Not sure. Cemetery Illuminator is one of the few ways our deck we can get card advantage. We get to Rending Flame, which is nice. Now, I could have kept the Make Disappear in my hand, because we could have cast it with that, but part of me... no, that was probably wrong. I probably wanted to Make Disappear. I just really wanted to loot, and I kind of liked everything else in our hand. I think I really like the Cemetery Illuminator. Alright, War Chief, interesting. Alright, we have a land in our graveyard. Now, exiling our own instance from our graveyard is a little bit of a nombo with Haughty Djinn. But I think if we can use its ability once or twice, we'll be fine. The Illuminator. The Kami War, we will negate. And that is a Lier. Huh. Fable. Let's reflection that. And we can exile now the Kami War from our opponent's graveyard. Or I could have actually done the Sheoldred. And then cast Lier. I didn't... That may have been what I wanted to do. Huh. Okay. Let's discard these two, because if we can get enough instants... We could have, like, gone for lethal. Sadly, that's not what happened, but... Return up to one target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, then each opponent discards a card. So we're gonna discard an island. This deck will definitely be a lot better once I play it a little more. I'm definitely learning a lot of different intricacies and what I should or shouldn't be doing. So, okay. It's all a learning process, right? Leyline Binding. We'll target that here. So now we have that to go away from. No, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the Kiki Jiki trick, and that's why I have to be into full control. And we're gonna just keep on creating Kiki Jikis at the end of our opponent's next turn as well. So then we can make a lot of Haughty Djinns during our turn. So, like, the trick is what Kiki Jiki is if you make a copy of something at the end of your turn, the trigger of the reflection of Kiki Jiki is you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So if you create a token during an end step, it waits until the next turn. So this is how we're gonna be able to, at the end of our opponent's turn, in response to this being sacrificed, we make another Kiki Jiki, and then we'll untap with multiple Kiki Jikis. So we're kind of able to stagger and let that ghost of the Kiki Jiki that was leyline during our last turn kind of live to our next turn. Now, if our opponent has more removal, then that doesn't really matter, but and maybe our opponent doesn't. Who knows? Pass. We activate it. And this is what we'll do. So we have multiple. There we go. GG. Alright. I think it's GG. That's a lot of Haughty Djinns. Okay. Well, GG. I don't particularly love this, and I'll keep it because we have mana and things to cast, and I think the Invoke the Winds will be really, really good here. But I would have really liked a Fable or two. Oh, ooh, a Malevolent Hermit. Ooh. Let's see what our opponent does here. Okay. I did not think our opponent would do that, actually. So that's fine, we can always strangle it. And then we have Impulse, followed up by double Invoke the Winds. Oh, wow. Well, now we don't have double Invoke the Winds, everyone. Alright, let's go for Fable here. So then next turn we have Lier. Also looks like our opponent might be a little stuck on mana. We can also get rid of maybe one Invoke. Our opponent did have the make disappear. Ouch. No blocks. Reckoner, Bankbuster. Give me that Reckoner. Maybe I should have taken the Anointed Peacekeeper, actually, just, like, to have the 3/3. But I think we're fine, right? Our opponent's stuck on 3 lands, which is very unfortunate for them. Well, now our opponent has 4, so a little less unfortunate. Uh-oh. I think we just go full aggro here. Depopulate? Oh, we get to negate that. Yeah, now this is lethal, right? For 14? Oh my god, GG. Whew. That kind of worked out perfectly. Yes, our opponent got a little mana screwed, but that's okay. That happens in Magic. So now, what do we do? This is where I have no idea how to even begin to sideboard. I think we like the invokes as ways to get rid of Sheoldred. I also think that's why we like Rending Flame. Probably can go without an Abrade. Our opponent does have counter magic, so maybe a Spell Pierce. Elder Dragon War doesn't seem particularly great. It doesn't kill kind of everything we want it to kill. And maybe Fires is okay? Maybe a Disdainful Stroke as well. Get rid of a Shore Up. Maybe? Let's try it. Let's try it. Okay, we'll keep. This hand seems really great. I think, right? Because we're going to be able to have the make disappear. Duress makes it a little worse, but Duress would have made any hand worse, and at least we didn't mulligan. Yeah, and bye Fable. Right, because always the problem now is our opponent knows exactly what we're playing with. Don't need that mountain. Roadside Reliquary, interesting. Don't need that. Well, all these considers are kind of nice. That's gonna be all 4 of them. The Wandering Emperor, let's negate it. I think we want to negate it. Though maybe if it's only going to make a 2/2, we could eventually kill the Wandering Emperor with our Haughty Djinn. I didn't consider there because I don't want our opponent to... We don't want to tap out and then have our opponent Wandering Emperor. I think. Let's pay the 2. Alright? Yeah, make our opponent double down on it. Now, we are completely tapped out, which it can be a little scary. Cruelty of Gix. Oh, getting our Cemetery Illuminator. Ouch. Honestly, I was not expecting the Cruelty of Gix, and maybe we shouldn't have tapped out there. A Wandering Emperor. Okay. That will resolve.
You started this fight, but I'm going to end it. May your
Now, whatever our opponent cruelties, we can Fading Hope it back into our hand. Right? And that doesn't seem like the worst thing in the world. I'm Fading Hoping it now because I don't want our opponent to exile an instant to be able to cast an instant from the top of their graveyard or library, right? That just doesn't seem particularly smart.
show them how we greet our enemies.
Also, this is one of the things where I kind of am regretting not make disappearing earlier. Just because we have them in our hand and they're not gonna... be good. I was not playing around Hullbreaker Horror, everyone.
I have got new moves to teach you.
So... let's Hope we can get something good here. Please don't have anything. Oh, wow. That's funny. Um, okay. Phone's gonna get a lot of stuff here, but I think we can live. I think we actually can live.
Guards, to me.
Right. Let's look at... Can remove Cruelty of Gix. And cast that. Urtai resurrected. Oh no. Oh, but our opponent knows? Alright. We have to breathe again a little bit. That is a negate up there, but we don't have instance yet. Depopulate. Okay.
We must protect the people.
I think we have to discard Make, Disappear, and Negate. The Haughty Djinn is almost lethal. Almost. So, maybe. Fingers crossed, everyone. Void Rend. Oh, no. I guess we can keep the impulse, right?
May your blade strike true.
Opponent can crew an attack with that Bankbuster, which is not good for us, because then our opponent also gets to attack with the Edgar. Uh-oh. What can we get with Impulse? Maybe we can just, hope... We'll see what our opponent does, right? But I think we're just very, very, very dead. Yeah, GG. Okay, that was a very Very close game. Very close. And I think we could have played it a little better, so maybe we want the thirst for discovery over maybe one Strangle and a Fading Hope. Like, maybe we just need more card draw and selection. Okay. No idea. I really like the Fires of Victory there, though. Hmm. Haughty Djinn. We're just putting it out there. Putting it out there. Maybe that's wrong, but I think being aggressive here does allow us... Oh, wow. The Unlicensed hurts a little bit. Not gonna lie. Looks like our opponent's stuck only on 1 mana, though. I mean 2 mana. But if we can Djinn here... This is where Abrades would be really nice, right? No, not the Liliana. Uh-oh.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it. Haven't you ever heard of personal space?
Alright, we need the land. So... Though, oh, maybe we could have gotten the Invoke to try and gain control of the hearse eventually. And then we can consider. And we get rid of the Liliana.
I knew this was a waste of time.
What an interesting game. Rafine. Okay. Let's see if our opponent wants to counter this or not. Discard 2 cards. 1. This hearse is doing a lot of work. Sadly. And I don't like it very much. So it's a Fable, but sadly, I don't think that's gonna be good enough. Oh, this unlicensed hearse, everyone. I was not expecting it, and it's really, really, really messing us up. Our opponent has a make disappear, and I think I want to do that. I almost messed up. Our fires almost didn't kill the Malevolent Hermit. That would have been so terrible. Everyone. I think we can block here. We can get rid of our opponent's make disappear. Alright, does that, and then we get to consider. We don't need the Strangle, I don't think. Our opponent's unlicensed hearse is almost enough to just kill us, though. So we have to be very, very mindful of that. That's a really big, big card. Feels upset that our Invoke is all the way at the bottom. We should have full control to put it up more, by the way. Oh. That's interesting. That means our opponent can't crew this hearse. Hmm. We know our opponent has Depopulate, right? No. So I think what we need to do is, if I do this, we'll see what our opponent does. We can Rending Flames that. Oh no! This isn't good. The Negate doesn't do anything. Not E-Player control. Uh-oh. Alright. So at least we have that going for us, right? Alright, we still have a Negate off the top of our library. So that's really nice. Really nice. The Unlicensed Hearse being a 9/9. Not so nice. Alright. Our opponent still hasn't played the Wandering Emperor yet. And so that's something I'm a little scared of. And by a little, I mean a lot scared of. Void Rend, ouch. We have to attack here. Just because we don't really have anything else we can do. The hearses will be lethal if it attacks. And that's okay. The Cruelty of Gix, we have to negate it. Oh my god. Please don't have a counterspell. No! And we couldn't counter it either, which is a really, really, really upsetting thing. So we have to attack with the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki. There, because even though if our opponent gets a creature, it's lethal, our opponent cannot Bankbuster this turn yet. So if our opponent has a creature here, it's game over, and that's fine. We definitely could have played this game a lot better, and we need our opponent to not have the counter spell there. But, oh well, GG. Well, everyone, thank you for watching me play some Julian Wellman's Izzet standard deck. It was great. I really loved it. It definitely is a deck that requires much more time to put into to understand how everything goes together and what your outs are. And I definitely felt that playing the game, where I was a little unfamiliar with, exactly how I should prioritize different things. And I don't know in the third game if I should have, how I should have played differently around the hearse, and maybe I should have kept the Abrades in. I don't know, but that is definitely something I maybe could have played a little more tightly around. And so again, that comes with the experience, but this deck is great, and I would highly recommend it. So, with that being said, if you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. Great way to help support me and the channel. You could also always watch me stream live at twitch.tv/thenerdysteve. I also do coaching, and I have a Discord, and all those links are down below. Of course, have a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are. Bye.